I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor.
Very, very rocky.
Death by government.
Drain the swamp.
Hello and welcome to another installment of Liberty Nation's Swamponomics videocast. I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor. This week, Afuera! Since losing the Buenos Aires provincial election early September to the leftist Peronists, there had been fear that President Javier Milei was losing his grip on power and his popularity. Investors were concerned that Milei would no longer be able to implement his chainsaw economics reform agenda, as the leftists who got Argentina into the mess in the first place could serve as an enormous roadblock. Stocks tanked, the peso weakened to an all-time low against the US dollar, and bond prices fell. Well, on October 26th, everyone left their worries on the doorstep as they directed their feet to the Milei side of the street. Milei's party, La Libertad Avanza, won decisively, securing more than 40% of the national vote for deputies and senators. Milei's party gained 101 seats in the lower house, up from 37, and 20 seats in the Senate, up from 6. The Peronist opposition coalition received around 31% of the vote, marking one of its worst legislative performances in years. Political experts said that Milei just needed his party to obtain around 1/3 to strengthen his legislative power. So, now, the increase in seats will allow Milei to uphold presidential vetoes, block impeachment efforts, and advance further reforms without relying on executive action. While this was a referendum on Milei's efforts, it was also a high-stakes contest for the United States. The Trump administration followed through on its commitments to extend a $20 billion economic rescue package featuring a currency swap line. President Donald Trump stated that Washington would only offer assistance if Milei were the victor. Here's what he said recently during a bilateral meeting at the White House.
And the election is coming up very soon, and it's a very big election being watched by the world because he's done an incredible job, but with that comes some pain. And they have some pain, and now they're coming out of it. I think the victory is very important. Your poll numbers, I hear, are pretty good, but I think they'll be better after this. And, you know, our approvals are somewhat subject to who wins the election, because if a socialist, or in the case of New York City, a communist wins, you feel a lot differently about making an investment. I think, Scott, you'd feel that if somebody that had no chance, in other words, if somebody wins and has no chance of ever having a great economy because of that philosophy, you would put a halt to what we're doing.
So, what's next for Argentina? What else could Milei do after imposing much of his agenda in the first 2 years of his presidency and producing results? In addition to proposing a balanced budget, Milei has said that tax and labor reforms will be his top priorities and that further downsizing the state will follow. Additionally, he will invite provincial governors to negotiate agreements to advance other reforms. Suffice it to say, he will likely accelerate his agenda in the final 2 years until his re-election bid, if there is one. Most importantly, the Argentinians have fended off the Peronists. In the meantime, we can all rock Milei's hairdo, carry around chainsaws, and shout, Afuera! That's it for me this week. Please read my full stories on LibertyNation.com, and be sure to check out my previous Swamponomics TV videos and interviews. Liberty Nation does not endorse candidates or campaigns or legislation, and this presentation is no endorsement. Thank you. I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor.
Very, very rocky.
Death by government.
Drain the swamp.